In the search to inspire on a diversity and inclusion front, we've travelled 5,000 miles across the Atlantic to the city of Compton in downtown Los Angeles to meet an organisation that is truly leading the way.
We got energy and vibes, power on my side. Can't see nobody, you can do it like mine. Taking steps, taking strides, you don't want this strike. I keep it real, I'm never telling no lies. Energy and vibes, power on my side. Can't see nobody, you can do it like mine. Taking steps, taking strides, you don't want this strike. I keep it real, I'm never telling no lies.
Over the last decade, the Compton Cowboys have firmly established themselves as one of the most dynamic equine groups in today's generation. Their leader, Randy Savvy, is on a crusade, using horses to challenge stereotypes about inner city African Americans and to make a positive difference to his community.
To this day, people think Compton is just like gangland, but it's not. It's a beautiful community. I grew up, I'm born and raised here, and I see the beauty of it. Like, I have Compton tatted on my arm. To me, it represents strength, power, fortitude, resilience, you know. A lot of talent comes from here just because people want to show. They want to get out there and be like, look what I'm doing. This is what we're doing down here, you know. To me, the horses are the key to unlocking the beauty that you can see in the community. What it does to a child, you can't even put a value on it, you know what I mean? And that's what we've seen it do for us in our own life. You got to think about, you know, coming up in broken homes. You got drugs that are rampant. You got gangs, crime, police brutality. A lot of our friends that we grew up with and family members ain't not here today. Our motto is streets raised us, horses saved us.
It was Randy's aunt, Maisha Akbar, a former estate agent who moved to Compton during the 1980s, who set this all into motion.
My auntie, she grew up wanting to be a cowgirl. She was just that little girl that was just like, you know, I want to be a cowgirl one day, you know? So fast forward to her adult life. She's working in real estate and all these different things. And she found this town and, you know, the magic of it when you gotta imagine being a dreamer that one day I want to be a cowgirl, and then finding a town like this is almost like walking into Narnia, right? Like Disneyland or something, like, whoa, like, so she made it a point to say, I'm gonna move here, no brainer, I'm not even gonna think about it. Like, this is where, you know, this is my calling, this is where I'm supposed to be.
This was Compton in the 80s, where gangs, drugs and violence were rampant on the city's streets. However, Maisha was determined to make a difference.
It almost was imposed on her. Her son, my cousin, got shot as a result of some gang activity. It was a real life or death decision, if you will. Like, oh man, like, I can't stay here and deal with this. Or if I'm gonna stay here, I gotta change it. I can't stay as it is. So she just decided that she would stay and fight the good fight, and she would use the horse to do that because she just remembered as a child herself how much of an impact the horse had on her, the draw of the horse, right? And made her wanna just do anything to ride the horse. So she said, dang, if I can use the horse to attract these kids around here, which they already wanted to come, they always would knock on her door, like she was when she was a kid, knocking on her door, hey, Miss Maisha, can I ride the horse? Can I do this? Can I do that? She said, you know what if I just turn that into something? What if I said, okay, if you want to ride, you got to show me your grades. You got to show me your, you know, make sure your attendance at school is up. And so because the horse is such a magical draw and the kids want to do anything to ride, they start to autocorrect their life, right? They start going to school. They start getting their grades up, focusing in class. They start behaving in the household. And then she's letting them ride. Now it's a whole formula. Now she rolling, now she cooking, right? So this is almost 35 years effort of proof of concept of that. Horses attract the kids, they fix it, they ride, their life changes, improves, gets better, and now we're just paying it forward from our vantage point as alumni of that program.
After his auntie suffered a stroke, Randy agreed to take over the reins of the program on one condition: that he could do things his way and bring a lights, camera, action attitude to the ranch. This approach has paid dividends, with the group starring in campaigns and commercials for numerous multinational companies. In the world of horse racing, they have also gained a key ally in the form of local racetrack Santa Anita Park.
They do an amazing job with taking a lot of inner city kids and not only teaching them how to ride, but teaching them the responsibility of how to look after horses, and kids who historically may not have all the opportunities, especially in the horse game. I mean, it's not cheap. we had to sit down and decided, look, there is an opportunity here, not only for you guys to expand your program, but for us to really start to use you as a retraining center. And I think the Compton Cowboys relationship, it's really back to the fundamentals. You want to do work in horse racing, there are a few things that are a given. You have to make sure the animals are good. You have to make sure the animals are well looked after, not just at the track, but when they finish their career. And then you have to make sure that your customer base is a real representation of the customer base that's coming to the track and will continue to come to the track. I'm really pleased with the Compton Cowboys deal.
The partnership between the Compton Cowboys and Santa Anita Park led to the creation of a new branch of the Compton Cowboys, the Compton Junior Equestrian Program.
Compton Junior Equestrians is something that the kids can partake in that won't necessarily have them up under the Compton Cowboys, because we do a lot of things that are, very, not for children. So I figured let's call it the Compton Junior Equestrians, because what that would do is open up the feel of it to be inclusive of all equestrian activity and riders, whether you want to do rodeo or English jumping or dressage or any of those things, or things that aren't even necessarily riding disciplines, but things that are related to equestrian activities, like being a trainer, being a vet, being a dentist, being a massage therapist, any of those things. And in order for the club to really thrive, it was our view that we needed to give the club a home where we could train, practice, commune, invite sponsors, and to kind of really showcase the livelihood and the real fortitude of the program. And so right now we're working on getting a new barn for the English club so that they can have a space of their own where they can have the great footing, the right space so that the horses can really open up and just have, a place where they can train, because we really want to go to the Olympics. That's really what we want to do. We have real aspirations of that, and it's a realistic opportunity on the table. We have Olympians in our wheelhouse, right? So we got Jessica Springsteen, who won silver in Tokyo in 2020. Right when she got off of her run, she said, I want to help the Compton Junior Equestrians. How can we do something? So we did a whole big, incredible clinic. She did a clinic for our kids, and I think Jessica got to see how real what we're doing is, and she was blown away.
One of the riders to catch the eye of Springsteen was rising star Zoe Brogden. The vibrant teenager's equestrian journey began when she was just 9 years old. Talk me through what it was like when you first walked through the doors of the Compton Cowboys.
My mom actually tells me this story all the time. She says the first thing I said when I walked in was, the fresh smell of horse poop. And from there, she's like, yeah, this is gonna be her thing. So I walk in, and as I get in there, I just see horses and horses and horses. And I scream, I run around, like, slow down, you can't run around horses. So I'm going crazy, I'm having a good time. And from there, they got me to warm up, they taught me how to groom and how to tack a horse, and they really just taught me the basics of horse etiquette and how to be around them. So it did start off as me just riding one horse, and then slowly enough as I got better and started to gain a lot more stamina so I can ride more, they allowed me to ride 2 or 3 or maybe just as many as they can give me per day when I was younger. And that just has strengthened my riding skills immensely. I am so very happy that I've gotten the opportunity to ride these horses and to learn different styles and learn how different horses feel and all that.
And how the Compton Cowboys developed what is predominantly an inner city and urban establishment. How's that expanded and how's that helped you?
Oh, it's incredible that they've just broadened their horizons incredibly. It started off just in the backyard of the owner's house, Maisha, and then we have people that ride in Malibu and all over the place, Calabasas and Santa Anita now. That expansion is just so helpful so we can get more kids to be able to be a part of this program. It is a sport truly for everyone, and as long as you try hard enough and really want to do it, you can truly go into the sport and do anything. My biggest message would be to promote diversity in every space you possibly can. Everyone's a person, might as well just have fun with it. We're all living our own lives, and if they choose to horseback ride, then that is the path they choose to take.
The engines of horse racing are powered by people who are not, naturally white and or American, but very similar, it seems, to the UK. At the higher levels of racing, there are a lot of old white guys, and that isn't really befitting for how the industry looks now. It's enjoyed by all diverse manner of people from wherever they're from. I think we need to embrace that the world is changing. I would love to try and bring more ethnically diverse people in, but day to day we run racetracks, we run racing. So at some point we have to stop and start to say, look, there are opportunities and there are places of growth. And I think there are lots of people around who would really love the opportunity.
Gonna build an empire tonight. We the best. Beat everybody in sight. All the rest, bow to our name. Let's go. Next time, we'll do it over again.
We're really trying to storm popular culture. I think that's the name of the game, because popular culture is where the youth are focused, and our mission is about developing the community and serving the youth. And so, you know, it's one thing to knock on doors, hey, we're trying to change the community, that's one thing. It's another thing to go out and be like, yo, I'm the dopest, flyest, flashiest cowboy in the world, and be on the world stage, on TV, on commercials and music, and that's a different level of stage and place where kids are paying attention to. Because when you're knocking on doors, you're trying to get kids' attention, right? But when you're on TV, you got the kids' attention automatically. You don't have to fight for that. So that's the formula. It's like, we want to storm popular culture because we want to get the kids to pay attention and say, yo, I want to be like them. Okay, well, being like us represents these things, you know, being community forward, to paying attention to your wellness and the wellness of others around you, loving your neighbor, loving your family, loving the land and the animals, giving back. That's the core ethos of what we do. And so, but our formula is to attack the popular culture space, because that's how we get that attention from the kids, and it's a win-win, no lose situation. It's like a no-brainer. It's fail-proof in my eyes.
Sports car gonna drive it off the lot. Cut this if you can't, I don't think you could. Try and beat us any day, man, I wish you would. Game time, gonna leave it all